Hello. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to walk around my yard just a little bit. And so somebody asked me, a couple of people actually asked me how they would get started with getting rid of their anxiety and panic attacks. Honestly, if you're not wanting to do like pharmaceutical medications like me, I didn't want to. What you can do is do meditation. Before I was ever doing meditation, I was doing art therapy, cognitive therapy, singing therapy, dancing therapy. I was doing anything and everything, and it kept me normal. It kept me fine even for a long time. And then after last year, things started going downhill really quickly for me, and so I had to go on some pharmaceutical medication for a while, just until I could find the strength to get off. And I got addicted to Ativan, and I didn't like being addicted to it because I've been working very hard not to get addicted to medications, painkillers, codeine, things of this nature, because I want to be healthier. Obviously, everybody wants to be healthier. So what I did was, after my surgery, because I was still quite addicted to Ativan, I had to take it at least once a day. After my surgery, they advised me not to take Ativan for a few days until I could get off of the pain regulators. So I did as they asked because I didn't want to die or cause any complications and end up in the hospital. I used that time to detox from it so I wouldn't need it, crave it, or anything. And then I tried to find an alternative. Now, the alternative wasn't necessarily, my first thought was meditation. I tried other things like drawing, singing, gardening, but it just wasn't helping with the panic attacks. I was having them 3 times a day, and it was really, really painful and horrible. So then I started Googling and YouTubing and looking for natural remedies and alternatives for anxiety and panic attacks. A couple of things were chamomile tea and herbal supplements and things of this nature, and I didn't want to do all that crap. So the tea, although I did do, it helped me with sleep. Chamomile tea, I love chamomile tea. But for panic attacks specifically, I decided that I would just simply try something else. So I was looking at videos and people were talking about meditation, and I never thought I would be a person who could focus on meditating because you have to quiet your mind, and my mind is always chattering and talking and working, and it's part of the reason why I have trouble sleeping. So the first thing they said was you need to try to at least meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. If you can quiet your mind that long, then you can go longer. And they recommended like something like an hour for just releasing any kind of tension and stress and whatever in your body, depression. So for a week, I worked really hard on quieting my mind for 5 to 10 minutes. So the first week, it wasn't that hard because I was still medicated from the pain regulators. So I found myself within like 2-3 days doing it. And so I used that as a way to quiet my mind and get it, like, master it basically. So I mastered it in the first week. And then in week 2 or 3 was when I started having weird experiences like ringing in my ears and seeing things in the clouds. So I ended up Googling it and found a website about Ascension and the signs and symptoms, and then that got me on my Ascension journey. It was a call. They were calling me. Ringing in your ears is them on a different frequency in a different dimension. You don't know what they're saying because you can't understand it. And most likely they're telepathically telling me something, but because we work in the 3-dimensional and we have language, they don't actually have language. Telepathic is a feeling. It's not words. Like you can like translate it into words, but it's not a word. Like, remember in one of my videos on my YouTube channel, I talked about how I had a feeling to look outside. It wasn't a word, it wasn't like a language, but I knew to look outside. I knew it. I felt it. That's what it is. Telepathic is a feeling. You feel whatever they're trying to say. So I get the ringing in the ears, I look outside, and if I don't understand the first thing that they show me, like sometimes like the other day, no, I think it was last week or this week, I saw a seahorse in the sky and I didn't understand it, so they gave me a rune associated with a horse. So that's how they talk to me, because I can't understand an image right away sometimes. They also gave me 9-week gestation of baby fetus, right? I showed in my stories before Logan's first ultrasound that I got at 9 weeks and what it looked like, exactly what I seen in the sky. So I didn't understand it, so they gave me a rune which was associated with fertility and birth. So see how it coincides with what they're trying to tell me, and when I don't understand it right away, they just give me the rune that's correlating with what they're trying to tell me, because they don't work with language. They work with telepathic communication, and it's completely different. So the whole thing around me and my anxiety now is I haven't had a panic attack in 2 weeks, which is freaking amazing, let me tell you. But 2 weeks ago, I ended up having one after a week of not having one. So what happened was 2 weeks ago, I ate some solids. I didn't have a panic attack. The next day when I didn't have solids, I had the panic attack, which was really strange because I didn't understand why I didn't when I had solids, but I did without having solids. It was really strange to me. It was random, but I got through it quickly using my tools, because I have some tools now. So I'm going to give you my tools for those who suffer from panic attacks. These are the tools that were given to me, and I hope that you will pass them on as soon as you feel like it works, because it worked for me, so that's why I'm passing it on. The first one is, when I was going for my surgery, a nurse told me that she went to a Buddhist retreat, which is a 10-day retreat kind of thing, where they taught her to turn her anxiety and panic attack into a physical pain, and it manifested a black ball of energy. For me, it was in my throat. So I would imagine this black like shadow thing in my throat, and when I would breathe in, I would hold it for 3 seconds and breathe out for 6 seconds. So when I was breathing out, I would envision the shadow thing chipping away until it was not there anymore. Now, for some people, it'll move. If their panic attack is like deep rooted and not willing to go away right away, the pain will move to somewhere else. For me, sometimes it moves into my shoulder, which makes me think I'm having a heart attack. It's always the left shoulder. So when it moves there, I also envision it. It's still the same smallness as it was in my throat, and I'm still chipping it away with each breath. I follow it until it's completely gone. It takes about 10-15 minutes. But now, I just breathe in and I breathe out 3 times when I have one, and it goes away right away. At first it was 10 to 15 minutes of trying to like chip it away. Now I breathe in and breathe out 3 times and it's gone. That is the power of breathing. And meditation. Meditation has helped me focus, and patience. That was the best part of it. Like, you have to have patience to be able to meditate, because trust me, when you're sitting there and you're trying to quiet your mind and your mind is telling you what you want to eat for dinner, it's not going to work, right? So you need to literally be like, okay, you need to understand that it's going to take time, and not to beat yourself up if you can't do it the first day. Just focus. Try it for 10 minutes. Set an alarm and focus for 10 minutes. And even if your mind wanders in that 10 minutes, stop the watch after it dings and then try it again the next day until you get it. You know, it took me a week. Like I said, it took me a week to get to the 10-minute mark where there was no noise in my head. It took me 3 days to get to the point where I could go 5 minutes with no noise in my head. So I had to constantly just breathe in, focus on it. I would be breathing in, counting to 6, hold it 3, counting to 6, breathing out, and that's how I focused, using the numbers of counting my breath and quieting my mind so I could hear myself count. And that is when the quiet happened. And then eventually I didn't have to think about the numbers anymore. I just knew how long to hold my breath and then breathe out. And now when I meditate, I don't have to count anymore. I just place my hands, palms up. That helps too, because it's a relaxing. I don't know why it's relaxing, but it's really relaxing. There's a science behind it. I'm not going to go into it. Palms up. Just breathe in. Just like that. 3 times. Panic attack gone. I haven't had one in 2 weeks. Now I'm not expecting to have one, and I hope that I don't jinx myself by admitting that I haven't had one in 2 weeks. But it's really nice. It feels like I'm free, like there's a weight off of me. So that's why I wanted to give you that. That's number 1 tool. Number 2, well, like I said, meditation. Number 3, I work with crystals too. My specific crystal is Angel Aura because it lights up the colors of every chakra, and it's really good for balancing the chakras. So I work with my chakras daily. If they're unbalanced, I notice I am irritable, short-tempered, and easily angered. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's short-tempered, but you know what I mean. I notice that I'm not balanced, so I can't handle a lot of stress or emotions, because I'm also empathic, so I feel everybody's emotions. Last night, my husband, for instance, he had tension. I had no idea what was going on with him, but it was keeping me up, and I was like, can you please deal with your anger somehow? It is really distracting. I can't sleep. And then he's like, what do you mean I'm not mad? I'm like, I can feel your tension from here. And then he's like, oh yeah, I am mad. I'm like, why? And then he said, you know why? And he started talking about something from his work, and I was like, that's it? And it was like bothering you so bad, your body was so tense, I could feel it. And he's like, well, you don't understand, it's really blah, blah. He's going on. But afterwards he was relaxed. I was like, thank God. So I passed out. But yeah, you'll notice things like that. You'll start to feel other people's energies. And because I'm actually specifically working on not seeing people for their physical appearance, but seeing them for their energy and vibe, I've been really feeling the energies now. Not just seeing them, but I'm feeling them too. So I have to learn how to not allow it to affect me that badly. Like I can feel it, but I want to use it to heal people. I don't want it to hinder me from doing what I'm here to do as a light worker. So yeah, basically that's what I do. I meditate, I do the breathing technique, and I work with crystals and my chakras. I don't take any supplements. I don't take any pharmaceutical drugs. I actually don't even take CBD oils anymore. I don't need to, because I do this. Also, researching Ascension and studying light body work and light body healing has really helped me as well with like my racing thoughts, because I can actually focus on things that I'm actually interested in, I've noticed. So I do that too, because if your thoughts are racing, you have a better chance of having a panic attack. So I try to focus and educate myself, keep my brain from going into dark places in my mind, you know. Eventually I'm going to have to work through that, because like I said, on this Ascension journey, you have to work through all the things that you need to heal, And one of the things that I know I'm going to eventually have to deal with is my childhood and my mom and dad and my issues around them. I have some really painful wounds that I need to work through, and they're part of the reason why I have eating problems and anxiety around eating. So I have to work through those one day. Right now, I've been trying not to work through it because I'm trying to get back onto solids. But yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down a weekend and just let it all out. Oh, it's gonna be a really tsunami wave of emotion, that's for sure. So I hope this was helpful for those who are trying to get out of their panic attacks and their anxiety and get back into healthy, loving, light bodies, and just really open up and live. I know it's a prison. I know it feels like a cage. I know how dark it is. I know all of that because I've experienced it. And I probably will experience it again. But the point is, I'm hoping these tools help because that's what I want. I want to help and heal people. So I'm hoping this will help and heal somebody. And I really, 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 really hope that you have a really great Thursday. And I love you all. And I want to send you all my light and all my love. I hope you can feel it. Just sending it out. My crystal's helping me balance my chakras as we speak because I was talking about it. So I'm really calm right now. So I'm just sending you that vibe, that calming, healing vibe. Think of it like a kitty purring in your lap. Just beautiful, beautiful. And it's really awesome that the sun is shining right now because that's really warm and beautiful. So, love you all. Namaste. Mwah. Hello. So I felt called to do this video. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video because I have I don't know if you can tell, but my eyes are kind of like, I have a migraine going on, like bad head pain. And there's a few reasons that this could be happening that I know, that I'm aware of. One, there's some kind of shifting happening. I don't know exactly what's happening on that front, but I know that there's something changing. And I know this because today I had an insure, and immediately after having the insure, like with the milkshake, I had really bad pain. So I think it's safe to say that I'm going to be not being able to drink insure. So I've been looking up an alternative, and I found one called Plant Fusion. So we'll be picking that up soon for me. And I'll be using Bliss almond milk to make it. On another note, there's some kind of, I would say low vibration frequency that's been trying to confuse the light worker community. I've noticed this today. I got ear ringing today, and I thought it was to go and see something, so I started looking outside, but in fact there was nothing to see. So I think it was some kind of low frequency vibration trying to confuse me. And then after that, I had some experiences where I felt like this normally wouldn't happen unless something else is happening with me. Then I was called to a certain video, and this video was talking about the same things that I'm telling you right now. Low frequency vibrations, insidious ones, trying to confuse the lightworker community, because the shift is happening. And when this shift is happening for the ones that are already aware to awaken and ascend, and they're on their journey, they're going to try to stop them, because we're raising our vibrations, and because we are soon all going to be telepathically connected. That's what the shift is. We're all going to be telepathically connected. We're going to be able to hear each other. So they're trying to stop that from happening, because once that happens, we've broken the link in this matrix, in this three-dimensional illusion. We've broken it, and they don't want that. They don't want that broken. So they're trying very hard to stop it from happening. And I've noticed that they're trying to distract me with things. And I'm pretty sure that the reasons I'm having a migraine, and then all the little tiny distractions that they're trying to do to me, I know they're just trying to extinguish my light, and it's not going to work. My light is too bright, way too bright. So I was called to do this because another beautiful soul, another beautiful light worker, her name is Lady V. She is on YouTube. I don't know if you can search her by Lady V. I'll have to look up her YouTube channel name, and I'll link it in the description. After it's uploaded, I'll go on my computer and I'll link her channel. She's very, very knowledgeable. But she had received a transmission from her higher self for a prayer to do on all known portals in your house. Now, what do I mean by portals? There are certain portals in your house that are like neutral zones, that where lower vibrational frequencies can get through. For one, the screens of your phone, because they're reflective, tablets, laptops, and windows are another one, doorways, and mirrors. So this is a prayer that you would do, and basically what you do is you take sage, which I've done tonight. Even though I have a migraine, I had to do it because the boys are feeling something. I'll get into that after. So I took my sage. White sage is best, but any sage will do. I lit it. And she said, do not use matches, because sulfur is one of their calls. It calls them. Okay, so we're not going to use sulfur, so no matches. Use a lighter, or however you light a candle, do it that way. And you go clockwise in a circular motion over the window, over the doorway, over your screen or device that has a screen, that has a reflective surface, laptops, and mirrors, and you go clockwise, circular, and this is the prayer you're going to say. I'm going to say it slow so that you guys can pause and write it down. And I'll say it 3 times so that you guys can pause and write it down, okay? Slowly. So this is the prayer. The light of love surrounds you. The light of love enfolds you. The light of love protects you. The presence of love watches over you. Any being of low, insidious vibrations, you shall not pass. You shall not pass. You shall not pass. The light of love surrounds you. The light of love enfolds you. The light of love protects you. The presence of love watches over you. Any being of low, insidious vibrations, you shall not pass. You shall not pass. You shall not pass. And say it 3 times. Make sure of that. The light of love surrounds you. The light of love enfolds you. The light of love protects you. The presence of love watches over you. Any being of low, insidious vibrations, you shall not pass. You shall not pass. You shall not pass. So you don't have to say it 3 times to each window, device, or whatever. The ending part, you shall not pass, has to be said 3 times. You say the prayer once over the windows, Every single window, you have to say it to every single window, every single door, every single reflective surface, like a device, like your phone and your tablet, laptop. Johnny has a smart vape, so I had to do his vape. And even closet doors. Any little doors, just do it. You do not want that vibration in your house. So I protected the whole house, because the boys the last few nights have been saying that they feel something in the house that's scary. So I take their word over it, because I'm protected by light. I don't feel the lower vibrations. I just don't, unless they make it known by like knocking something over, or like flickering the light, or specifically trying to target me. I won't notice they're there. I will not feel them, because they're lower vibrations and I'm on a higher frequency. So the boys, on the other hand, they're not that high in the vibrations yet. They're innocent, so they have the more sensitive sense for those kinds of things. And because I'm raising the vibration of the household with my vibrations, obviously their pineal gland is going to be wide open, and they're going to know when there's a presence in the house that I can't feel. So them telling me made me want to do this. So I did this tonight. I'm giving it to you because I feel like I need to share this. This is something I need to share. Another thing is, I got a rune today, and I'll read it to you really quickly. I'm not too sure who it's for, but I'm sure somebody out there needed this message, so I will read it to you. Oops, I went too far. Okay, so this one's called Gebo, Relationship, a Gift. Drawing this rune is an indication that partnership is in some form is at hand. In lovely relationships, in business matters, in partnering of every kind, you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union, for true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness, even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. At the same time, there is another aspect of partnership that you are being called to consider, for the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union with the higher self, union with the divine. The ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of the divine in all things. God always enters into equal partnerships. Gebo, the rune of partnership, has no reverse, for it signifies the gift of freedom from which flows all other gifts. And that is the end of that rune. That's the message I'm supposed to be sending out tonight. I actually got it in the afternoon, but that's around the time when I got a migraine, so I did not have any feelings of trying to do a video. I started feeling nauseous, so I laid down for a bit. But I was very compelled and very, I don't know, I was called. You know, it's like that. Like I was telling you, telepathically, there's no language. It's not like a verbal language, it's more like a feeling, and I had that feeling to do this. I was being told and called to do this, so I'm doing it. And my eye is really hurting me. Every time I get a migraine, this eye always feels like it's swelling up, and I also get pain behind here, mostly here, and it goes right up into my crown, down here, like this, and I also feel it here. So I know it has to do with the light that I was sending out today. I was sending out a lot of light, mostly. Okay, so I actually stretched my Torus field. Remember I was talking about the heart Torus field, and how I was trying to stretch it to being the size of the house. So today I stretched it to the size of the house, and it stayed there until I moved to the next chakra. It stayed there. While I was on my heart chakra, I stretched it out. First, I stretched it out to just me. Then I stretched it out to me and Lucas, because Lucas was on the bed. Then I stretched it out to engulf the bed. But the way I envisioned it was a big sphere, so it was equal distance all the way around my body. Wherever my body was, it was equal distance all the way around, surrounding the bed. So basically, it was also outside and downstairs at the same time, equal distance all around me. So then I stretched it further to the room, equal distance around me. So where I'm sitting is like kind of near the wall, so it was outside and downstairs. And then I stretched it to the house. I stretched it, and I was like, yes. So that means when I'm out and I have my angel aura all charged up, I'm gonna hold it near my heart, and I'm gonna have my Torus field stretched to the size of the house, which is roughly 1,200 square feet, I think. Maybe 1,000 square feet, whatever, the house. And that's both suites and downstairs. So it's gonna be huge. And so I did it. And all I did to do it, I haven't really, I didn't know how to make it stick. All I did was just stay. I just wanted it to stay, so I told it to stay, and it did. And I didn't know that just telling it would work. I was just like, please stay. Just stay until I'm ready to let you go. I need to do this. And right afterwards, I was so drained and thirsty, I had to have a cup of water. I got dizzy. So right afterwards, I drank a cup of water, because it was very draining from my energy. But if I can master it, it won't drain me like that. So here's looking forward to that. But I hope this prayer helps you guys protect yourselves from the portals and lower vibrations, because this is a time of spiritual warfare. That's why we're called the spiritual warriors. It's because we're in a war to help the other asleep souls awaken. And so we're going to be in a spiritual warfare against the lower vibrations, like the four-dimensional cabal that I've been talking to you guys about. They're going to be coming full force, because there's a lot of us waking up, and not just a tiny portion. I think it's near half the population. Near half that are starting to awaken right now, slowly. And there's a quarter of the population that's already awoken and doing the light work to awaken others. That's right, a quarter of the population, and half are on the journey. They're getting that feeling that Neo got in the beginning of Matrix. Yeah. So I had to do this video. Don't mind my eye. I have a migraine. Seriously, it is what it is. It's gonna swell up on me. I'm gonna be turning out the lights after I'm done with this video, and I'm gonna get a cold cloth and put it right here. So I hope this helps you guys, and please stay safe. There's so many lower vibrations out there, and like I said, one of the biggest lower vibrations out there is the news media. Don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into it. It's all three-dimensional illusion. Don't. It's poison. And any news articles you see on your Facebook feed, do not go in. Do not get sucked back into the three-dimensional matrix. Just don't. We're almost there. We're almost there. So I've been staying away from certain things too. I've been really noticing the things that catch me, and then I don't even fall for it when scrolling. Just don't. I know what's there to divide and separate us from each other. And I'm not going to allow it to do it. Just don't. We're so close, guys. We're so close. Okay, I just wanted to give you guys this message, and I hope it helps all you beautiful, beautiful souls out there, and all you light beings that are awakening. And even those who aren't awakened yet and they see this, I really hope that you consider awakening. It's the best thing you could do. Not just for the current state of the world, but for the overall collective reality. It's what we need. It's what we all need. So I'm sending lots of love and light, just like earlier. Love and light. Just lots of it. And I'm gonna say what Lady V says at the end of her videos. Victory to the light. Namaste.